afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Hero Psych, Defender of the Fatherland. Off here to a 1 vs 1 on Kholodny Ferma Winter. Between in the west, we got NaziBBQ here, a rank 130 American player fighting here for America. Freedom. And the 5th Infantry Division holding the line as the Germans assault here under the command of Zerg 1111. Fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland, the 17th SS Panzergrenadier Division Götz von Blickingen here with elite troops with machine gun Panzer and Austrian bulletins versus armor, heavy cavalry and rifle company with double infantry, and we got EC8 bulletins. Rifle company is definitely making a bigger comeback here alongside the EC8, which it turns out is still pretty good. But again, that's how the meta goes. A unit is great until people decide it's just not good anymore, and then suddenly becomes bad until they realize, hey, it's good again. Double rifle start here for Nazi. BBQ, Grenadier MG42 there for Zerg. Standard stuff from both sides. Also a big thanks to Patrick for pledging on Patreon and supporting the Propagandacast. Most appreciated, Patrick. And of course you too can support the mighty Propagandacast and allow me to keep doing what I do on a daily basis. If you'd like to do so, there are links to Patreon or just PayPal if you just want to take a one-time donation there. Down there in the video description. We can also find an email address we can send in replays because apparently still people sort of weren't sure where to send them in. Well, email address. Link in the video description as well. But while going up here to sort of secure the shed there, we got to push around the shed. They're going to use those Rifleman M1 Garans versus the Kharnage. In the south here, Rifleman slowly pushing up. We got the info setting up there. Should be able to deal with the Rifleman as they push through there. In this case, Zerg probably saw it here on the mini-map. Pioneers slightly spotting ahead. Looks like they're going to move in. He's not aware there's an MG42 there. Nope. There we go. Got the fuel, then moves the MG42 back. Pioneers, I think, acting as bait versus the Rifleman. There we go. Got away. Up north, they're going to be pushing back against the Rifleman. Actually going straight for the cutoff point here, ignoring NaziBBQ surrounding infantry forces. A bit risky there. More Grenadiers around there for Zerg to occupy the church. And in the south, Pioneers, MG42, the slow moving head Rifleman grabbing the point there. 3 Rifle squads versus 2 Grenadiers, MG42 there. Grabbing the munitions up centerwards, the Grenadiers falling back. Zerg decides not to press the offensive there. In the south, MG42 just watches over there. Just needs some kind of outside. Then the Rifleman, he can begin suppressing them more or less. But the light car will provide a bit of protection. There you go. Suppressed immediately here by the MG42. Out in the open, they are easy targets for the massive rate of fire there of the MG42, which is what it was designed for, by the way, having a high rate of fire, because the overall design was your first shots are basically what the Germans, after some research, basically decided that's what's more likely to actually get the kill. So they basically just ensured they had as much as high rate of fire plus high accuracy on the first shots, and then the rest wouldn't matter. They just keep the bastards' heads down. So that's a little fun fact about the Germans. It was also what guided the MG34. Obviously, the MG42 just had the advantage of being easier to produce, to maintain, and of course had a higher rate of fire. Though of course the higher rate of fire didn't mean you'd need a more experienced gunner to sort of handle it properly. Whereas with low rate machine guns you don't need as much of an experienced gun. Of course, with an experienced crew on the MG42, of course it could do a lot more damage. We have some sneaking about here. Grenadiers covering the flank there against NaziBBQ attacking from the north. In the south here, bit of movement about here. MG42 lining up, we've got Sandmax and Bartwire there for the cut-off for the munitions point there. Pioneers around this is going for additional Pioneers. His Zerg has he already taken up, just wants more stuff to grab territory with. It looks like he has taken up. Does want to retreat, so the Pioneers have been laying down a lot of Bartwire there, making it harder for NaziBBQ to move about. Rather than they're pushed back by the MG42, it's 1200 rounds per minute, proving to be an ever fearsome foe. Mortar creeping ahead here for Zerg and the 17th SS. A Panzergrenadier division formed up in Normandy out of ethnic German from Hungary primarily, and I think also Romania. Most of the division received only, well, weeks of training, where some elements had received months of training before the whole war broke out there in Normandy, at which point they were quickly forced into it. Smokescreen here, probably expecting something there. Might be trying to set up for a push towards the core point there. Not entirely sure what Zerg is planning there. I'll wait, smokescreen here. Could of course also be mind games there to sort of make NaziBBQ think something's going to happen. Bit unsure there, bit unsure. He could also just smoke the house there, though, so to prevent him from using it against Zerg. Then there's moments. MG42 up here, though the flank is now exposed. No S-mine field, for example, to keeping that clear. And there you go, round spotted here by the MG42. Quadruple rifle there for NaziBBQ and a captain. So he's planning a Stuart there versus Zerg. He's going to be a bit more slow, not quite as aggressive there. He's also clearly not too worried about infantry, otherwise he'd push for 50 calibers and an AA half track. On the other hand, the Stuart's only also going to be a bit more of a pressure point. MG42 falling back, here's Zerg deciding that it's not a safe position long. And of course, there's also just the good idea of shifting the machine gun's position from time to time, so they are, you know, a lot harder to actually, flank and outmaneuver. Big push here for the CoH point, but at the same time we got a bunker going up to defend the CoH point. That's a very good move here, in particular on Kholodny Ferma. So that's a very nice move there by Zerg. There's a bit of time before it's ready. We got Zerg occupying the house in the north. Zerg remaining a bit on the defensive here, but still maintaining a strong, solid defensive, which is a bit difficult there for NaziBBQ just break through. He's actually pushing up his mortar there just to stall until he get the Grenadiers up and the machine gun in there, basically. So, bit risky there, but overall pays off. And the machine gun bang is also now ready here. Up north, Grenadiers fighting with the rifle, the captain out in the open. Well, light cover, really. No light machine guns, any other additional firepower there, which would certainly help versus the Americans out in the open. Granted, they have not been upgraded either, so that should overrule to an extent be Zerg's fighting, particularly to get some support weapons out there. Grenadiers a bit in a rough state here. Still got the Jarash Zerg's rear lines. And Captain and Rifleman now getting the overall upper hand versus the Grenadiers, down to 2 men. In the south here, Rifleman pushing forward there. Pioneers forced to fall back. No mindsets to block up. We got the MG42 back there to ward off any southern push by NaziBBQ and the 5th Infantry. We're now getting a Stuart light tank on the way to support them. We got a Pack 40 there, so he's obviously anticipating something. He's seen the captain, so anticipating a Stuart is generally a very good bet, since most players will go for a Stuart Wise. But actually, one thing to note, that he's actually first gone for the Pack Howitzer, adding in a bit of artillery that way, which is certainly also quite effective, well handled. We'll have to see how well he can make use of it. There you go, in the south, Rifleman once more to fire there from the MG42. Actually, that's a machine gun bunker here, firing at some retreating reactions. I just hurt the MG42, sound fine, forgot about the bunker. It's still a bit rare to see, Wehrmacht players go for bunkers, but there's an overall increase, I think, in Wehrmacht players just going on them, because it turns out, in the right position, they're actually a pretty good investment. Again, they free up valuable manpower, they don't have to be enforced, so in that regard, they can do a lot there for some of the Wehrmacht sort of late game issues, by just allowing them to sort of conserve their forces better elsewhere. Rather than they're trying to get away, but there's barbed wire in the way! Goddamn Crouch, they wired off a retreat path. That's inhuman. No, that's tactically salient. Sorry, shut up. I bet you didn't even know what the word salient means. Maybe. Stuart there rolling ahead, Pack 40 in the back position. NaziBBQ that still remains in control of the map. But Zerg has managed to establish a reasonably strong point there, which is going to be difficult for NaziBBQ to crack without some serious artillery support or smoke support, or probably both. Stuart there encountering the Pack 40, the Panzer Abwehr Kanone 40. Stuart there, dodges the second shot and quickly rolls back there in the face of German opposition. Grenadiers then equipped with G43s. I would say the Zerg is on the lower end of the infantry count here for my taste. 2 Grenadier squads is definitely a bit too short. He might be planning Stormtroopers or Panzer Grenadiers, but he should certainly be a bit faster to get them out. But for now, he's holding out here versus NaziBBQ again, who's got a lot of infantry compared to that on the field, which does help a lot. And he does have support weapons here, and particularly does have some artillery of the lighter and more potent kind. So there goes shots flying at the mortar position. Zerg's going to have to reposition that one eventually. Mortar firing the captain, Pioneers occupying the church. And he's actually shooting here for the bunker, trying to silence Zerg's static elements. And if Sony can get rid of that, he can play a lot more aggressively, since again, it does limit a bit how many paths he can attack Zerg from. But overall, he's maintaining an iron grip here on the map. And Zerg is struggling with it due to, I think, again, a lack of infantry. The labs will push ahead more aggressively. We'll have to see how it goes out. Stuart there roaming about. Need a few more repairs. Noting here that NaziBBQ has not upgraded his rifleman with grenades or weapon racks yet. So, the G43 Grenadiers should have a decent chance. They even have severely outnumbered, though they still need to be careful.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Is he taking up himself? Indeed he is. He's moving for the Panzers, the armor. Up here, Pioneers trying to hit the CoH point, though are quickly and swiftly intercepted and dispersed here by the riflemen, having none of that crap nonsense on their watch. But overall, bit of a standoff here. While it might not be a Festung Europa, it is certainly enough here to deter NaziBBQ from any larger scale assaults. Could still benefit from mines though, but there you go, tech almost done. That's going to take them time to gather armor. Riflemen hanging about here. Grenadiers, also a bit of situation. Mortar there. Veterans 1 and 1 kill. Not the biggest impact yet versus the Americans. Grounded now, there's the pack cards managed. There you go, quick concussive grenade there. Stielhandgranate. Landing and killing some rifles down the rest of the line of the Grenadiers, then to charge in and finish off the remaining Yankee bastards. Pioneers being hit there. Riflemen very close, need to retreat those Pioneers. They're negative card versus Riflemen, they're also low on health. Grenadiers also need to retreat, they're also in the similar position and low on health. And they got wiped there. Not too good. Their mortar wipe stood almost taken out there though. A few losses there for Zerg. Though he still maintains his position. He's also been out the support core there. It's going to take some time to get any kind of armor there versus NaziBBQ, who can in fact now begin teching for armor. And by the looks of it, there's a big drop there in manpower and fuel. He is in fact doing that, and there we go. But Zerg needs to get more infantry out there, and preferably something a bit more elite than the Grenadiers. Stormtroopers and Panther Grenadiers would be the best choice, though. It's already going to lose a bit the window that time them being really efficient, because now NaziBBQ has finally gotten weapon racks. He's beginning to upgrade his riflemen. Very good decision there, though he could have had it out sooner. Double-8 machine guns there, though. Laying quite a number there, and the riflemen cutting numerous of them down there with heavy bursts of indiscriminate fire in service of Das Vaterland. Also, a fun fact about the 17th is in Normandy, I think every third battalion was actually bicycle mounted, while the rest were mounted in trucks, but they were certainly lacking in equipment besides training. They also supposed to actually receive the Jagdpanzers, not the high velocity guns, just sort of the same guns as the Stubes and such, but they didn't arrive in time for Normandy, and they had to make do with Marder Fries and a tank destroyer battalion. We also got a fuel catch up here, so it's clearly trying to set up there for some kind of armor push. Definitely, I think, a good way of making the best of things for now here for Zerg, though again, more infantry sooner, but probably also help the bunch. No kits there for the Grenadiers, so good. But their opposition increasing. I mean, got the captain here with BARs. Not double upgraded though, and I don't think he's actually double upgraded any of his riflemen. Oh, there we go, there's one that at least has been. Still, Zerg needs to change up his tactics a bit. They does feel a bit too passive. He's also conceding a lot of victory points there to NaziBBQ and the 5th Infantry Division, so far holding up the 17th SS very nicely. I mean, so far seems a bit like a stall game, just buying time to push out the armor, which is not a half bad idea, but it does of course carry its own risks here though. He is fortunate that NaziBBQ is so far not displaying any sort of high aptitude for smoke, or any sort of elements like that. Big push here, tagging into the northern element against Zerg, sending his Grenadiers there scouring away. And the south Stoop pushes through, Pack 40 though is ready to there, he's apparently anticipating it. And here Easton's getting absolutely pelted with machine gun fire and rifle fire, Stuart breaking down the barbed wire. And we got an Austrian for Zerg here. Bit risky considering everything. I mean, his opponent's got most of the map, he's getting more resources than him, he should be anticipating armor. I mean, the Austrian can deal with the Steward and help with the infantry, but it's not really going to help, as I say, any sort of real Shermans there from NaziBBQ, so it's a bit of a risky move here by Zerg at this stage, going for an Austrian, knowing his overall situation in terms of resources and map control. But it can help a lot there versus Riflemen if well handled. Enforcing Grenadiers engaging the Riflemen. Flak Panzer is almost done here for the 17th SS. Götz von Berlichingen, named after a German knight and mercenary. Known for having an, well, iron fist. Very advanced prosthetic for that time actually, allowed him to still swing his sword despite having lost an arm. Got the Austrian pushing in against the Riflemen. Opening up this third on the flak, blasting through the doors, the windows, the walls. There's no safety against the flak pants unless they're slightly elevated terrain. The great nemesis of the flak panzer. But right here there's none, and the riflemen are pushed away there as the flat terrain betrays them. So you got the flak panzer there roaming back. We also got a fresh push into the north now, finally here by Zerg, spurred on by the arrival of the flak panzer, which also works quite nicely defensively, to go ahead and finally explore the rest of the map there. Of course, on the other hand, we are soon looking at possibly an EC8. His son seems to be setting up resources for it. Just needs to go for Rifle Company. Though, of course, he could have gone for that doctrine a bit sooner, maybe done a bit more with it. But there you go. Osman going in for the captain, who without the bazooka there is an easy target here for the Flak Panzer. Shattering cover of the Americans. Back at base, nothing further going for Zerg. He would actually call in stormtroopers and equip them with assault rifles now. He could also be laying down a bunch of mines. Go for panzer grenadiers instead. Certainly a few options there for Zerg here versus NaziBBQ. There we go, is going for Rifle Company. Second note, cancelled the Pack 40 there. Cancelled it. But we got the EC8 on the way for NaziBBQ and the 5th Infantry Division. Americans pushing through here and there. That's going to force back Zerg's northern push. Attempting a bunker there, but without any serious support to actually screen up the construction of. He's more likely to lose the pioneers. Oh dear. He's going to lose them. He's not paying attention. Zerg 9. At least cancel it before it's too late. It's going to be destroyed. It's going to lose the manpower to it. What a waste there by Zerg. Instead, we got stormtroopers now arriving here, trying to hit the carve point. But at the same time, spotting out there's an EC8 and getting suppressed with a base machine guns, which actually so roughly covered here. Pretty much meaning this shit is very poor for infiltrating from. He needs to retreat the stormtroopers immediately. That's pretty rough there. He needs to also lay down the smoke screen perhaps to sort of cover up the retreat, because they're going through negative cover and a lot of very angry Americans. In this case, the importer is setting up there to suppress the troops in the center. Works out decently there. We got Major with bazookas, mortar or pack out firing down the machine gun, pack 40 falling back. Grenadiers moving up to try and cover the retreat. Equip Panther fast to Stuart light tank. More grenadiers arriving. There you go. Shots firing into the side there. No, not exactly. But there you go. Got a hit on the rear armor of the Sherman. Machine gun there. Wipe the pack out fire. Got a smoke screen going down there. Back at base. Reinforcement going on. A ship going on. Osman here. Push up here a bit around the center. Then, of course, all the bazookas might deter it from doing so. They ultimately decide to push ahead nonetheless. Flanking mech forces. We got a smoke screen down there, but when the forces preventing them from firing at his forces, those lamps run for it. Rifle grenade swords going off there, and got some nasty hits there on NaziBBQ, killing one of his rifle squads, and almost wiped another unit there as well. Still landing some good hits there. Good use of smoke by Zerg, by the way, completely negating the blow up there by preventing him from firing, and he just didn't move it any further around there. Though he still needs to get the MD42 back. Here, reinforcements should be going on. We've got Stug on the way there to deal with the armor from NaziBBQ and the 5th Infantry Division. In the south we got an MD42 there and watch. Could probably consider a bunker down there instead of trying to build one up here really close to the enemy, where they better actually have the machine gun there to support. So that's only something I feel that could have been executed with a bit more wisdom. Rifle very rapidly retreating there, and the other MD42 has been recruited here. A few plucky grenadiers. Stormtroopers most early awaiting reinforcements. Reinforcement healing going on in NaziBBQ's base. Got the Osprey with 5 kills, halfway to veteran to 1. And another smoke screen there. Again, one of its mind games is there's some plan there by Zerg, or there's just something else behind it. Certainly seems a bit weird to me. Strook's heading out there, needs a pintle map machine gun though. Upgrade there. Would help a bit, does his infantry. Stormtroopers there. Also need a bit of extra reinforcement, but otherwise they're pretty close to go there. Pretty close to go. Being fully gefechtsbereit in service of Das Vaterland. And there we go. The 4th member is finally being dispatched there from rear lines to the front line to support and reinforce. We got an anti-tank and a second pack out from NaziBBQ. We're going for double pack houses. That's going to be really unpleasant there for Zerg, since that's going to be a lot of artillery. A lot of artillery. Got a smoke screen around here. More smoke from Zerg. He's certainly making ample usage of it, which is very nice to see. Stormtroopers heading from the northern victory point. Then he's reinforcing. Stug Osman moving up to support there as well. Looks like he's playing a larger element there. Good, good. Also got Telemines down there. Also good, in fact, sehr good. Though still, I think a machine gun bunker down there would be a really good choice. Then freeing up a machine gun for supporting northern pushes instead. Second pack out's almost done. Rifleman stood moving up. EC8 still not reacting to this. Assault grounded. It's not because Zerg is showing his entire hand, so he's not anticipating, you know, Zerg to have most of his armored forces up there. He's just sending the single Stuart thinking, you know, it's just a bit of light harassment, not, you know, the main German army. I think he went rather light on that Stuart there, to be honest. He went rather light, or perhaps he's trying to bait out the Sherman to then hit with the Stug. He's got another one away, but in fact looks like the Sherman's going to hit southwest there. So instead of going into a Zerg's trap, it's going to hit him in the south and punch him in the teeth. When Zerg's not looking. That's definitely one way of doing it. Stormtroopers, they're hiding up behind a bunch of sticks. Major port level of flak punch, there you go. Bazooka rockets flying at it. Doing a bit of damage there. You see it roaming about in the south. Pack 40 might want to shift down there. Not entirely sure what NaziBBQs are expecting to happen there. And there go off moving ahead. Stormtroopers, they're ready to open up. But is Zerg paying attention? He has been known to be a bit not quite. There you go. Concussive. Oh, got concussive grenade off from the rifleman, cutting them down there. Still not getting good hit on the Stormtroopers though. We got the Osman Stuart moving in there. Go several hits there. Still could go down. Still could go down. Rifleman taking losses. There goes Stuart kaput. Amerikanischer Panzer kaput in the south. MG42 dealing with the Sherman, but getting wiped out. But the Sherman now is taking heavy hits there. We got a target weak point off, almost taking out the Sherman. The rifleman, or the captain, is still pinned down. Mortar fire raining down as well there, and he's trying to quite hit there, but without direct line of sight. He has to attack around, in which case the accuracy of the anti-tank gun does drop a bit. That's a bit unfortunate. Up north here, Bazooka team's continuing to push forwards. As Zerg is forced to fall back, machine gun is up there, but not quite able to support, and he lacks infantry support. And his Stormtroopers aren't veteran enough to actually use field first aid kits on themselves, and the rest of the Grenadiers are elsewhere. And thus they're not available to support. Quick counterattack to regain the southern victory point. He's down to 116. Zerg definitely needs to put some more pressure on the victory points, and soon. And a machine gun bunker here that really would help him out. We got another EC on the way there for NaziBBQ, but now Zerg has 2 Stugs, and the machine gun there seems a bit forgotten by the German army. Here, more pioneers are riding for him to replace some of the ones lost. Need to retreat the machine gun. Oh, he's going to lose it. He's going to lose it. Zerg here is trying to juggle too many things at the same time, and it turns out that Zerg is not an amazing juggler. Quick concussive grenade, but there you go. Hit by the pack cards and then wiped by the rear echelons. Quite a loss there for Zerg. Didn't even get the anti-tank gun fully. Stormtroopers taking heavy losses, should retreat them right away. Should try getting something to heal them first. Moving upwards, going to pursue the Sherman there. Going back to repairing the flat pants, which is very close to Veterans Who Won. Decent hit there from the mortar. And there you go, wiped it with the pack houses. 12 kills, Veterans Won, then the other one has 4 kills. So they really needs to do something drastic in terms of sort of offensive action, because he's sort of slowly being worn down and he's bleeding out of victory points. So there needs to be some kind of major action there by Zerg to somehow change the game up. Because NaziBBQs realise he does need to crush the Zerg to win this game. He can just stall him by the time and just bleeding out the victory point, because Zerg is already getting too defensive at the moment. He needs to do something to change up the recipe here. Tactics, the strategy needs to be adapted to the current situation. That also requires using his armor a bit more offensively. And overall, I think not attaining to the centre back to trying to launch a larger scale attack into the north, forcing then NaziBBQ to have to counterattack to defend his territory there. But of course, still needs to defend the south somehow. At which point, you know, machine gun bunkers would be helpful. But there you go, North Osman striking the rifle major. The second Stormtrooper scored out here, this time arriving at the northern shed, right next to the victory point. Go for a assault rifle from those chaps, rather than getting pelted by flak fire in the south. They'll be able to get a break for their rifle resistance moving in. Mortar being recruited there by the pioneers. No machine gun support though, and so far no apparent move to try and steal it. He's in flanking in here, needs to get the Osman down. Then we got the super fire there on the bunker, rather the echelons. That bunker's going to go down. We got the Osman down. We got the E6 still hanging back. Both of them, in fact, still hanging back. Assault rifles on the way for the second Stormtrooper squad, getting the northern victory point for the fatherland once more. And the bunk's about to go down. But we got the flak panzer rushing in, but it looks a bit too late. Resistance though. Yes, he wipes them, depriving NaziBBQ of a vital anti-tank element. Very good work there for Zerg. Stooks also looks like they're finally going to do something a bit more actively. Also good. Stormtroopers moving towards the centre. Others hiding up there to ready to ambush. Third and victory point being secured. Need to get the flak panzer. Anything else down there? Rapid press there. On the missing point. There you go. EC8 here spotted by the Stormtroopers. Stook turning back to shoot at the Yankee Panzer. Good shooting fleets. Just a few more shots and that thing will go up like New Year's fireworks. Really? Yeah, so it's Americans. They really like stuff. Their tanks full of the stuff. I don't know why. No support here for the Stormtroopers lying in wait there. Not good. There's Zerg needs some Stook support. And there you go. You see it. I think he's going to just try and crash the cover. There we go. Stormtroopers on the run. Basically saw through Zerg tactics, having done it once. And generally don't want to repeat the same trick too many times. Even Napoleon warned against that. In that regard, Zerg just tried to rely a bit too much on it. So he got punished. Third Stook on the way there for Zerg. You could consider maybe a Panzer IV now. But certainly more Stooks doesn't hurt either, though he could also benefit from using those Stooks he do have a bit more actively. Front machine guns, will sort of help the infantry versus other infantry. And of course threaten those EC8s. Big push in the centre southeast, going to need the flak panzer down there, I think, to have a really good chance. At least some good luck. Push into the centre supported by smoke. Armour just sort of milling about. It seems like Zerg is not entirely sure what he wants to do. In the south, they're going to lose active pull through with a single concussive grenade. A bit lucky there for Zerg. Bit lucky. Down to 76. Zerg really needs to do something now. But again, he seems to be dithering here. He seems to be lacking some kind of clear vision of how he wants to win the fight, and that is definitely to the advantage. Oh, grenade off. And there you go, Storms going for tactical advance, up close, following the concussive grenade. And they do pull through that, though it was rather close there versus NaziBBQ. Still got a lot of munitions. You could consider, white phosphorus, or fighting positions, or grenades for his riflemen. He's still got a lot of things he can do with the munitions. He's also finally recruits the southern machine gun, though. I still think a machine gun bunker here would be a really good choice. Moving up most of his armor towards the north now, Stooks Ostwind. One Stook the ready to support the south, which is definitely good, but there you go. We got NaziBBQ there moving up both of his champs towards the north now. And there you go, Veterans 1 gain. Stooks need to open up on it. There you go, double Stooks in the EC8. Target weak point available here. Targets the weak point, Ludwig. Fires the heat round. And there we go. Got one of the EC8s, but the Stook goes down. Needs to get the other one up down there. Needs to get the other one up there, I mean. EC8 gets away. EC8 gets away. Stormtroopers pushing through here, flanking behind NaziBBQ. And there's his tanks occupied with the front line here, trying to hit some of those weaker support ones. They've got now a large chunk of rifle moving in there. Stook moving splits finally. Grenade off in the pack howitzer and wipes it. Very good. Stook Ostwind moving ahead. They're supported by the Pioneers. There you go, another good hit by the Stook on the EC8s. Stook moving ahead here. Almost got the EC8 needs to the Ostwind support. Gonna be close, gonna be close. Another hit there, we got another EC8, they're up for NaziBBQ. Ostwind moving about, they almost got this, there we go, he got the EC8, but the Stook is almost done. Pioneers need to retreat. Ostwind there, moved too far ahead there, trying to flank the rifle, instead got punished by the arrival of another EC8 there. Stook charging ahead, non-touch what it's trying to do there, trying to crush riflemen, not really gonna work out well there. Got this EC8 there, Ostwind claiming ready to, not enough munitions for Blitzkrieg, anti-tank rifle grenades going off on the Stook. And the Ostwind goes down just as hit Veteran 2. We got a replacement Ostwind on the way for Zerg and the 17th. You got the EC8 going there for the Stook. Already down to half health. Other Stook going to need both support, but they're both increasingly getting low on health there. There you go, damage engine. There you go, EC8 straight from the two Stooks. Got Veteran 2, then one of the Stooks. Increased rate of fire by a bit, but mostly armor. And it gets the EC8, demolishing all of NaziBBQ's armor in a rather protected armored engagement. It costs Zerg a lot and might cost him more as the Stooks are within range to be taken out by anti-tank rifle grenades. His best bet is just drive ahead rather than trying to, buy time. And there you go, take it out. They probably should have waited with the smoke there until he's past them somewhat. By now, in fact, there's a chance there you go, he can pop it up. If he just waited a bit longer, he could have popped the smoke and then been without range or beyond the range. Instead, he ends up losing all of the Stooks, including the one with the Schützen. Tragic. But he still has the stormtroopers. Now his opponent's short a lot of infantry. Zerg's got a lot of support weapons on the other hand, so there's a chance now that Zerg can just rush ahead, grab all the victory points, and maybe sort of overwhelm NaziBBQs' remaining forces. They should get the snow the Stug as fast as possible. Also grabbing the anti-tank and all the pack cards they could also prove to be pretty good ideas. Another easy hit there for NaziBBQ and the 5th Infantry Division. Big push here, not as big as NaziBBQ can now master. Straight into the machine gun. Grenadiers, Stormtroopers ready to support. Austin moving down as well, and we got White Phosphorus being called in finally, though he could have probably benefited from that a bit sooner. Pack wiped out there. And there you go, tactical advance supported by the Osprey up close versus the Rifleman in negative cover. Oh dear. Casualties are high. But NaziBBQ managed to save as many of his men as possible. Recruiting the pack 40 while in White Phosphorus, a bit risky there by Zerg, to be honest. Pushing ahead here, trying to get that pack howitzer. He's hit there, almost done. He's going to need a Stug though, he's going to need a Stug. Schnell. And we got Rifleman flanking behind here. There you go, back to 2 Storms. We've got a grenade off against the Gebalteladnung and oh! Almost wipes and lost the Pioneer Squad. There you go, got them wiped. Their big loss for NaziBBQ and the 5th. Oh, he's going to lose another Rifle Squad here, negative cover, and the Stormtroopers just finish off the 2nd one as well. Good lord, heavy casualties now for NaziBBQ. Heavy casualties. Stug on the way, but he's got the EC8 now, and Zerg's anti-tank elements currently are extremely weak. In fact, most of his elements are extremely weak. He's hitting ring ahead here, wiping out most of his stuff. The lack of medic bunkers at this point proving himself rather costly in some ways. Another pack 40 there firing, but again, very, very low on health. All the Sherman needs to do is basically sneeze at it. You could also just lay down the smoke, preventing the pack from firing easily. Bunker down, and finally, it really is taking a lot of attention there from NaziBBQ before it went down, so it's been a pretty good investment there from Zerg, who is setting up machine gun up north now. And he still, by the way, got that fuel cache, which is also, I think, proven to be a quite good investment there for Zerg. Also really good positioning, basically sort of out of sight for most of the time, so it's a bit difficult there for his opponent just to run up and destroy it. So it's a really good spot, by to lay down a fuel cache there, is what I'm saying. Another Stug on the way, Rifleman getting absolutely hammered there by the Osprey, and we could see wipe. There we go, Stormtroopers from the north, and slowly advancing there. Tactical advance, a bit too late for that though. Stug pack moving up here to deal with EC8. Smoke screen down there, right on the spot there where the Stug hits, forcing it to get close to the Sherman. Very good work there. Stormtroopers being pelted there with fire out in the open. Rifleman up to grab the anti-tank gun. Bit risky there with the Stug, but he continues to push forward. Very risky, and he gets the EC8. And then he decides instead of just pushing forward, he drives backwards in front of the anti-tank. I think that was a bit of a mistake there. Looks like he gets away with the Stug. Bit lucky, the anti-tank being pushed forward despite, you know, barely being alive. Got the Flak Pan support here with flanking with Stormtrooper and Grenadier support. Could do with a bit of medikits there. Grenadiers wiped out. Tactical advance again, and there you go. Rifleman annihilated. The casualties are piling up there. Another unit annihilated. Heavy losses on both sides by now. Got that MG42 pilfer there from Zerg. But the 2 pack out there trying to sort of destroy things they're using its heat rounds. And almost got the anti-tank gun. Almost. Destroyed. Bits of everything flying all over the place. Push here. Troops pressing in the south. The MG42's on it. And there you go. Troops run off. Need to get that Stug fixed up, and the Stormtroopers could do with some fuel first aid kits there. Bunker up for the north.
AT gun ready.
And another anti-tank gun for NaziBBQs, but I think severely out of infantry. I mean, he's now heavily undergunned in that regard compared to Zerg, It's got 2 stormtrooper squads, both with assault rifles. It's also got more support weapons, and that in guard, sex, unit preservation, suddenly beginning to shine through. Though I would say he was really pushing his luck there. He was really pushing his luck. Good job for the sitting down machine gun bunkers, and certainly there's also one thing NaziBBQ could have done. So with some of his resources early, he could have laid down fighting positions that way, making it harder then for Zerg to get back onto the map. Another Stug on the way there. Zerg is certainly taking no chance there with the possible appearance of more armor from NaziBBQ in the 5th Infantry Division, thus opting for more Sturmgeschütz. Very nice to see that. Unfortunately, not get a cat rushing at Storm, so they're also pushing forwards now. And then there you go, tactical advance. Storm of bullets though raining against the cat, forcing away Mortify also spawned, but they got the pack out there in action as well. There you go, direct hit on the MG42, killing the gunner. France did not make it, but the Stormtroopers now gaining veteran T3, and this is where they really begin to shine. Stug almost done there though for Zerg. I think NaziBBQ is actually trying to stay up here for another EC8. We'll have to see if that can pull through for him. He's almost got the manpower there. And there we go, EC8 on the way there for NaziBBQ. That must be his... Well, he's going for 5 Stugs, so that's also quite a few, but his 5th EC8 there. And we got field first aid kits that are being handed out as they grab the cutoff point.
Our supply line just got cut off.
Reminds me of a line from Company as one with the Stormtroopers there. Jürgen, you be the nurse. You're the prettiest.
We're losing a capture point.
They had some great lines there. And a great voice actor. Sadly, they couldn't get them back. Machine gun there hanging back. Austin good to go. There you go, you see it striking at the Stormtroopers with no armoured support there. They need to run. Work so. Abandon everything but your weapons and ammunition. What about the food? The food can leave the place, the guns cannot. Got the Stugs moving up, they're trying to pursue the EC8. Stugs are caught here by the Rearslunts and the captain out in the open. The Stugs find in the Sturmgeschütz, causing some damage. Osman moving ahead. He's also laid on the machine gun bunker in the south that he's setting up for it. Very good. Very good. And we got the flak pans moving up. Might try and flank the anti-tank, and he's going to need to shoot up. They sort of support afterwards once the anti-tank moves up to deal with it. Or not. And he's got Stormtroopers in. Bun grenading it. Stugs then needs to move up to support here. There's the tank. Or not. Looks like it's not working on. There you go. Forced to retreat instead. Not quite fully well executed there by Zerg, to be honest. Got the easy to the hot suit. Stugs turning about. There should be turning about any moment now. Pack 40 moving up. There you go. Good hit there. Stugs. Osman's going to go down. Osman's going to go down. Taking too much fire. We got White Phosphorus down. Rios is getting pelted. And the EC8's about to go down. Takes a hit there from the Stug and blows up as White Phosphorus strikes the entire area, lighting it up. Rears and they're forced to run, well, Green Echelon forced to run past it and through it. The centre of the map being turned into a wasteland, as most of the Americans just pelted with everything they got. Pioneer's clearing out the anti-tank and the MG42 setting up, Captain rushing down. He's got the other pack cards back by the way there, but that's not going to help much with all of these German troops. There you go, Captain slowly being annihilated. Anti-tank and destroyed. And that machine gun gets wiped there by the Stormtroopers. No survivors. There you go. And there you go, game over. A loss here for NaziBBQ in the 5th Infantry Division, a victory for the 17th SS, the Götz von Berlichingen. A brutal civil engagement. The overall Zerg, I think, was too defensive in some ways too early on there. Also lack of infantry. Should have at least a minimum of 3 infantry squads. Should have pressured more on the north. And at times, just when he actually had all these Dukes, tried to be more aggressive with them versus NaziBBQ. A few marches to cover up the flanks, that would have done a lot of good, plus machine gun bunker down here soon. It would also freed up a machine gun then for more work up north. So I think those are things there that Zerg could improve a lot upon. NaziBBQ did well, but could have upgraded grenades and rifle, could use his munitions a lot more efficiently, could also flank more in that regard. He quickly, I think, gave up too much of it just that one bunker and tried to lock your flanks through here, or just try and go for some deeper flanks through here. Instead, he just sort of went slightly past, and of course, to an extent that worked out with all the map control he had, but he could have then, gone for finding position to help defend the, more far-flung points, making it harder there for Zerg to suddenly, hit him out of nowhere and push him back across the map there. So those are some things that NaziBBQ could have provided or done better. And also think support his tanks better with his infantry, which in many cases just sent in there with minimal support, allowing Zerg to deal with those tanks more piecemeal. So some room for improvement there. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe to the friends, share it with everyone. If not, send in a replay and find some feedback in the comment section. Big thank you to all my Patreon supporters, without which this episode would have been possible. So thank you all, and see you all tomorrow for another Sonic episode. Bye.